It was a rather established neighborhood where the Asbury family lived. One knew one's neighbors at any rate. And then one spring morning in 1971, she moved in next door. And thus begins the rest of the story. Nobody in the area knew where she had come from. Nobody even knew her name. She just moved in. An attractive girl. One might have imagined her surrounded by family and friends, and yet she was alone. Apparently utterly alone in the world. Well, the Asbury children, 10-year-old Tina and 8-year-old Kelly, played guessing games about their new neighbor. Mr. Asbury and wife Jean were most curious. They would not have to wait long for an introduction. The girl next door was named Dolly. She was quite friendly, outgoing, but never talked about her past. The Asburys, though they remained curious, granted her privacy. Her smile was so disarming, surely her background was completely ordinary. The first day they met, Dolly had dinner with the Asburys, and they ate together quite often after that. And then Dolly began spending more and more time with the Asburys' young daughters, taking them swimming and so on. Then began offering to run errands for the family. It was about that time that Mother Jean started asking around. Other neighbors told her, yes, Dolly had been visiting their homes also. So Jean Asbury went a step further and made inquiries outside the community, and what she learned is the rest of the story. Dolly was more than just a pretty face. She had been a wave, had worked in special operations for the United States Navy, had been an undercover agent, was in training as a combat courier. Perhaps, and I have to say perhaps, because there is no way to know for certain, she had been a spy for our side. But then came her discharge. It was a less than honorable discharge. A former superior at her old Navy base confided the problem to Jean Asbury. He called it undisciplined and undependable conduct. In short, Dolly had been a bad recruit. Perfectly capable, but she had been careless in the communication of some top secret information. So Dolly was drummed out of the military. And the next thing you know, she had moved in next door to Jean. Her profound attachment to the Asbury family was nothing really to worry about, the Navy assured them. She was merely friendly and talkative, had obviously adopted them as her own family. For if she had relatives or friends of her own, wherever they were, she clearly preferred the Asburys. And thus did Dolly and the Asbury clan live happily ever after. The Asburys in their house on the Florida Keys Canal. I said the Asburys in their house on the Florida Keys Canal, and Dolly in the dockside home, the wooden shelter the family had built for her. For you see, Dolly, the mysterious new neighbor who quickly monopolized the Florida family and who remained devoted to them from then on, was a 5-year-old, 425-pound, 7-foot-long dolphin. And now you know the rest of the story.